Good morning. Glad you could be with us. I want to share something from Bob Goff in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 15 and 16. The Apostle Paul has some wisdom for all of us. Be very, very careful then how you live. Not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. That's an interesting statement, isn't it? Because the days are evil. But, you know, there's a lot of truth to that it's really easy to waste time. I've been trying to see where I waste some time, and I want to cut some of those out. Start to see different patterns. This day of the week, I have this gap in my schedule between this and that. What do I do with that gap? Fill the gap with good stuff. Well, Ezekiel was an Old Testament prophet who asked the question, how then shall we live? As a matter of fact, there were people who came to John the Baptist because John was preaching that there was this cataclysmic change that was coming. Now, people thought it might involve Rome, it might involve all these different things, but instead it involved the kingdom of God coming in somewhat of an unseen way, but it came through Jesus. Anyway, so people were asking John the Baptist, what then must we do? Because if the end of the world is coming, and that's what they perceived it as, but here's the reality, the end of the world is coming. Now, am I saying it's going to happen this week or next month or 2026? No. But you know what? Some people that I know and love, in all likelihood, may not see 2027. And I could be one of those people. We just don't know. So for each and every one of us, the end of the world as we know it is coming. So what do we do? Well, first of all, we need to figure out, I like how Bob Goff puts it, how God wired us from the factory. You know, as I take a look at back over my life, I really ended up doing something for the vast majority of my life, vocationally, that I'm really wired to do. I never would have guessed it growing up, but you know, math, science, not for work. You know, I marvel at how people put suspension bridges up, and I see road construction, as much as I don't like it, but how they get stuff to meet, you know, like this huge ramp, and I could never do that stuff. Accounting, someone gave me a word of wisdom back when I was in high school. Not for you, Paul. And to this day, I don't really like doing it. And I'll tell you something else. I don't balance my checkbook. But that's just a personal confession. But you know what? I take a look at my grandkids. They are wired differently. At 7 years old, I can see this one has great verbal skills. This one has artistic skills. It's just the way that they're wired. So if you can figure out how you're wired, then you can have a much better shot at doing things that work for you. And then you can make the most of your time, and it's not like your work is just trading time for money. Well, one of the things that Bob Goff brings up is there's two kinds of people when it comes to projects. One person puts all their eggs in like one basket, and and they're dedicated to that. And in some ways, I think I'm more like that. And he doesn't put it down, but he does give a challenge to say, you know what, you might want to have a number of projects going at the same time, and then see which one is going the best. And there's kind of faster ponies and slower ponies. And if this pony falls out of the race, well, stop feeding the hay to that pony. Okay, you can sell that pony or whatever. I mean, don't be cruel or anything, but you get what I'm saying. But if you know what's working, invest in that. I made the decision, I took guitar lessons a few years back, and I hit a wall where I wasn't getting any further. And I just thought, I'll wait till heaven to learn how to play guitar. And I'm going to focus on some other things that I'm better at. And so just want to close by reading the final word here from Bob Goff. Yeah, it's inspiring when somebody just puts in years and years and nothing happens for all these years. And then finally they have this breakthrough. But maybe there's some other ponies they could have been racing along the way, so to speak. So don't let the slow-moving ideas be like slow ponies staying in your barn and eating all your hay. Find one or two you can take out for a gallop right now. God bless you. Have a great day.